Welcome, Taurians, for your full moon November 2017 reading. And this is how it goes. This is where you stand today. This is what you've been dreaming of. This is what you need to let go. This is what you need to grow within yourself. This is what you need to share. This is what you need to ask for. This is what you need to understand and accept as your resource. This is what you need to meditate on, and this is how you will celebrate your manifestation. I hope the cards are clearly visible. Yeah. Okay, so Taurians, you are currently in a situation where you are either thinking of the past, holding on to a past, or wanting to be with people from your past, perhaps your old friends, perhaps your family. You've been in a nostalgic, currently on a nostalgic mood, and nostalgia seems to be overtaking everything else for you. Perhaps there were heartbreaks or suffering in the past that you hold on to still, and this is exactly what you need to, you've been dreaming of. Perhaps healing yourself or setting a wrong that happened in the past, right? Or maybe you are in a zone of would haves and should haves, but what you need to let go of is the dream, of it'll all be right. Perhaps you're holding on too tight. Perhaps you're holding on to something that's completely over with. It's in the past and there's nothing you can do about it. And instead of just holding on and dreaming about it and being in that zone, perhaps it's now time to let go. Let go of what was, what could have been, and literally focus on what is. And that's what you're supposed to look at, at yourself and see that this is what I have, and it's not all that bad, it's not all that little. So, instead of living in the past, instead of crying over the heartbreak, wanting that what you probably couldn't have at that time, dreaming of it, imagining it, you must realize that it's time to see what you have, instead of worrying about what you don't have. And what you should share is, I see this card as like letting go. What you have to share is share with people around you, or maybe your vibration, that you have finally let go. Instead of holding on, you are now accepting things and you are letting it go. Perhaps when you share that, you will realize that this is what you should ask for. Instead of dreaming about the past, instead of holding on to who hurt you or whom you hurt, perhaps you should now ask for the dream that you've always wanted. It's a house, maybe, or a family, or a relationship, without putting a face or a name to it. Maybe you can look at the qualities that you want. Maybe you can ask for or work on your relationships that perhaps you've been ignoring for quite some time. Work with being with your friends and family. And what you need to really understand your resource is that you have the ability to move on. Taurians, you are the most earthy earth that is possible. You are a fixed sign, and there's nobody as stubborn and as focused as you guys are. But what you have, what your ability is also, is the ability to move on. It's not something that you lack. You actually have the ability to move on. That's your resource, and perhaps you should now use it, to move on from wherever it is that you are stuck in the past, letting it go and asking for what is it that you want. And what you must meditate on is balance. Understand that things happen. Perhaps that was, maybe it was meant to be, and you have to accept it. But what you have to also meditate on is putting things right, especially if not for anybody else but for yourself. You have to, even if you wish to put right for somebody else, perhaps you can do it. The idea is to meditate on how you will do it instead of worrying about it. The guides ask you to meditate on how you can set it right for somebody you have wronged, or how you can meditate for yourself and set yourself right, because not everybody will come and say sorry to you, not everybody will come back to you and heal your heart. That's not how the world works. Sometimes you have to pick yourself up and heal yourself up and move on, and that's exactly what the cards are reminding you. Meditate on yourself, meditating on healing yourself, you know and move on. That's the most important thing. Move on. You can move on. It's not that difficult. What also the cards ask you to do, as a way of celebrating this full moon, is being resourceful. Building up a sort of a habitual work life, going out, waking up maybe at 5 every morning or 6 or whatever works for you, having breakfast at a fixed time, sleeping at a fixed time, eating at a fixed time, working, even if it's something very small, or maybe it's your job, or maybe it's something that you've been looking at, doing something daily, on a daily basis, day in, day out. That's the most important thing, because that's what gives you comfort and strength. If you don't, you being the fixed sign that you have, you need the stability of discipline, and that's what you need to give yourself, the stability of discipline. This full moon, you have to focus on moving on, but because it can't happen in a day, you have to give yourself the idea of making it a habit, giving yourself the stability of discipline, the comfort zone of a disciplined lifestyle, a disciplined way of thinking. Perhaps you must focus on the book that you have not written, or write down the business plan that you've been delaying, maybe perhaps 2 pages a day, but that's your daily discipline, and maybe that's when you work on everything else will feel right. So Taurans, I really hope this reading worked for you. I hope it resonates. Please like and share my video, and I hope to see you soon with my relationships video that will come. Take care. Bye.